Guys, it's 2023 and the new sets for the 2022 NBA draft class should be coming out in a week or so. NBA Hoops. We are going to be looking for those guys from the 2022 draft class. And here we are going to be making a tier list of guys we're looking for. So I have them as not played enough games, meh, potential. So these guys are guys that showed flashes of them being a star, but who knows. And then not mad is going to be, if you open it, you're not going to be mad that you found their autograph or their, out of 25, but you wish it could be somebody better, like the guys in the huge hit. Those are the guys all the breakers and all those other guys are going to be yelling for. Maybe me, who knows. I don't know how I respond whenever I hit a big card. It's just natural, I guess. And then him is going to be one guy that I think, which most people are probably going to have in huge hit, but it's one guy that I think is going to be the guy to collect. Maybe it's just my guy, maybe it's a hot take, but we're gonna see coming up in a few years whether or not I'm gonna be right or not. The first thing I did was put all the first round draft picks here. I put the mad guys, or guys that have played enough games. They've showed some talent, but it's not guys that you really want to card collect. And so you guys know, this is all about trading cards and card collecting, buying and selling kind of thing. It's not really about who's the best player, because as you guys know, centers and guys like that, like Embiid and Jokic's cards are not really worth a lot, but shooting guards, small forward, or guys who score a lot, I should say, or flashy dunk guys definitely get the most attention in the hobby. So that's just the way it is. This is mostly for cards, but it's also a lot to do with the talent as well, because they kind of follow each other. You guys will kind of get it as we go through. Anyways, I put those guys here, and I have I think 14 guys that I think are going to be, in that potential category all the way up to him. And then we'll get there, and we'll start in the furthest drafted pick, and that is going to be Tari Eason. He is a 6'8" power forward from LSU, plays for the Houston Rockets. He's 21 years old, so a little bit older. He has 8.5 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, and he gets 1.2 steals. In the beginning of the season, he was getting like 3-4 steals a game. He has a lot of potential. He's very lanky, plays a lot of good defense, and has a high motor. I really love watching Houston Rockets. As you guys know, I'm a big Jalen Green fan. Him last year probably would have been Evan Mobley actually for me before, but now, I'm between both. I'm right between the Jalen Green, Evan Mobley crew. So Tari Eason, because of everything he showed so far, he has potential to be something a little bit older, but he is one of those guys that, like, I wouldn't be mad if I collected, but it's one of those things that you probably wouldn't be excited if you caught his autograph or something, and it probably sells for super cheap. The next guy on the list is drafted at number 16, AJ Griffin, 6'6" shooting, small forward. I was gonna say shooting forward, small forward from Duke. He's 19. His dad is Adrian Griffin. If you're as old as me, you remember him, I believe, on those Raptors teams. I think he's the assistant coach there. So he has one of those, NBA dads, kind of like Steph Curry and Del Curry. He averages 10.4 points per game on 21 minutes per game. And if you guys don't remember, he's the one that hit that, I believe it was a game winner against Toronto. I'll pull that clip up for you guys. He is trusted in crunch time, so that means a lot, especially that Atlanta team isn't like a bad team where they just play anybody. AJ Griffin seems to be kind of like an adult in the room for some reason. He's only 19. He has a lot of potential. He needs to start shooting a little bit better, but who knows with that Atlanta team. So he is going to be in potential. Again, he's only 19. He's playing minutes again, and he was picked 16. So that means a lot to me that he can play on this Atlanta team, which is not really that bad. Next up is the youngest of the crew. He is about 12 years old, Jalen Duren from Memphis. He's 6'10" center. He averages 6.9 points per game and 7.9 rebounds and almost a block. He is very athletic. He's young. Detroit has a bright future. I really like Jalen Duren, but he kind of, you don't know yet. I was joking about his age. He's just turned 19, by the way. Very, very young. And he has potential. He's also a center, so you always got to keep that in mind whenever you're collecting guys. Centers don't really sell for a lot. He's not going to be like a highlight reel, but he could be really big in the pick and roll with Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey in that Detroit system. So we'll see, but he has a lot of potential. He also has shown some flashy dunks too as well, and that's really important when you're collecting cards. So I put Jalen Duren in potential. Next up was pick number 12, Jalen Williams. In the beginning of the season, he didn't really play too much. I like him a lot. They call him J-Dub because there's another Jalen Williams that they drafted in the second round. He's actually half Vietnamese, kind of like me, but J-Dub has been playing really well. I think he won Rookie of the Month a month or two, playing really good minutes. Oklahoma City team is like, without Shea, they're kind of really bad. Giddey's been playing really well too. I really like his game. He's been averaging 10.7, 3 and 3 and he plays a lot of minutes too. 27 minutes a game, that's a lot of minutes. I'm gonna put him in potential again because he has potential to be better, but I don't see him being super flashy. But if he gets a better jump shot, then we'll kind of see. So a lot of these young guys, they have to kind of learn the whole jump shot, getting your own shot thing, and that's, you know, and then we'll see when we get closer to the top of the draft. There's a lot of guys like that. The next guy we're looking at is Jeremy Sochan. It's spelled like Sochan, but I've been learning it's Sochan. People kind of named him as like the Dennis Rodman kind of guy. He has colorful hair. He does a lot. He's kind of like in between. So he's a 6'9" power forward, but he can run a little bit of center, run a little bit of shooting guard. He guards a lot of people. Pretty good on defense. He's only 19 too as well. I'm going to put him as potential. I don't know where his ceiling would be, but like usually guys who aren't like all about scoring and all about leading a team type of guys, they don't really do too much in the NBA as far as like card collecting goes. Pick number 8 in the NBA draft, and that is Dyson Daniels, the 6'8" point guard from Australia. Only 19 years old. He plays for that nasty Pelicans team, so he still gets minutes, by the way. He gets like 20 minutes a game. He can do a lot. He doesn't have too many he doesn't have too good of stats, so 5.7 points, 3.6 rebounds, 2.3 assists. But if you watch him play, he does a lot. He does a lot on defense. He follows what the team wants. He's kind of one of those guys where he got picked 8th, probably because he was from Australia, didn't go through the American college system here. And I would not be mad to get his autograph. He has so much potential, especially with a good team. Next up is going to be pick number 7 in the NBA draft, Shaedon Sharpe here. So Shaedon Sharpe has some of the most sick highlights. He jumps out the gym. He had such a weird beginning, I guess you should say. He would score maybe like 2-4 points, but have like one sick dunk. Shaedon Sharpe is so hard to say whether or not I don't know how to say it, like whether or not he's gonna be good or not, who knows. He didn't play at Kentucky at all. From my knowledge, you guys let me know down in the comments. From my knowledge, he just didn't want to play. It was an injury thing. He just wanted to get that 1 year out so he can go. I'm sure he would have went to the NBA if he had the choice, but he went to the Calipari system. He trained a lot, did everything he needed to do. But man, he has so much potential, and him dunking, he's already on highlights. And you know, no offense to the card collecting community, but I think a lot of people don't really watch a lot of sports. You know, same way with like me and like, you know, soccer. I don't watch like every league, but like you kind of get to know who's good. And I think Shaedon Sharpe's gonna be one of those guys where people are gonna talk about him so much that he's gonna be the huge hit. He's gonna be one of the guys that when people collect, or you're opening packs, or you're watching a break, somebody's gonna start freaking out because Shaedon Sharpe came up. Speaking of a lot of talent in the NBA, we have Bennedict Mathurin from Arizona, 6'8" shooting guard. He's 20 years old. He averages 18-4 and 1.6 assists. He has the ultimate green light. If you watch those Pacers games, they let Bennedict Mathurin shoot wherever, whenever he wants to. It's kind of not a bad plan because he is a really good shooter. He has a great body for the NBA. He can be a great defender eventually too. He's definitely one of the guys, and if you guys know card collecting, people love scoring. If you look at like the top 10 scorers in the NBA that are non-centers, I'm sure they're the top guys that people want to collect. And I'm going to say he's a huge hit. And you know what? I'm going to put him above. So if it's closer to the huge hit sign, that means he's better than the other person to the right there. So he is going to be a scorer in the NBA for a very long time. If he gets to the point where he can start like incorporating his teammates a little bit better, then that's going to move him higher and higher in the card collecting world. But that's where we're going to put Bennedict Mathurin right now. I've been very impressed with this guy. One of the best pure scorers, actually not the best pure scorer, and we'll talk about that guy in a second. Top 5 is very impressive. And if I didn't mention this before, I think that this draft class is not as good as last year, the 2021 guys, but they're pretty darn close, especially depending to see where Chet goes to here. So if Chet becomes an all-star superstar, then this class could be just on the same level of 2021 guys. And if you guys have been seeing, like Evan Mobley's been balling, all these guys, Cade as well has been good, but you know, he's just hurt right now. But we're going to start with the top 5, and I like all these top 5 guys. But the number 5 pick was Jaden Ivey from Purdue. 20 years old. He's 6'4". He averages 15, 4 and 4. But he's shooting under 30% from 3. People were saying he's kind of like the mini Jaw when he came out of Purdue. I like him, high motor guy. I love him next to Cade Cunningham, especially if he becomes a knockdown three-point shooter, and that's why he's going to be a huge hit guy. He has so much potential that he's one of the people that people in the card world are going to sell themselves on the flashiness slash he's playing with Cade. He's going to be playing with Jalen Duren and a lot of other, like Beef Stew and all those other guys. They have a lot of potential. They're a young team, just like the Memphis Grizzlies were. Number 4 is Keegan Murray. All right, so Keegan Murray is going to be tough because I really like Keegan Murray. The problem is he started off very hot with his shooting. He has a great shooting stroke, and he averages what? Let's see, 12 and 4. He's shooting 37% from 3, which is really good, and 85% from the free throw line, which usually means you have a good shooting touch. The problem is he's a little bit older, so he's 22, and who knows like how much potential he's going to have. But there's also other guys who are older that ended up panning out, you know, so it's going to be tough. He's going to be somewhere. I'm going to put him at the not mad that I got his autograph. I don't think everybody's going to be running around going crazy that you got a Keegan Murray auto. All right, top 3. So I want to do a comparison between the top 2 guys, and Chet is not one of them because he hasn't been playing, but you know, he's what, 6'10" or what, 7 feet tall, 20 years old. He had the Liz Frank foot injury. I'm gonna say he is, you can put him in not mad, like you wouldn't be mad if you had his autograph, but I think when you see breakers talking about who they're collecting or when people are buying, I think everybody's gonna be surprised that everybody's gonna scream for Chet. So huge hit. I know that's surprising. I don't think it's a hot take, but it may be a hot take. I am one of those people who believe in Chet. So when people are selling Chet Holmgren cards, let's say for half of like Paolo, I'm going to be buying. So I think that a lot of guys are thinking like me and want to find Chet Holmgren cards because we know the hype leading up to next year is going to be crazy. All right, who is him? Is it Paolo Banchero? Is it Jabari Smith? Is it Bennett? No, I'm just kidding. Who is it between these two? Here's the thing. Let me break down some of their stats for you here. So Jabari was pick number 3 for the Houston Rockets. He's a power forward, 6'10". He's 19 from Auburn. He's averaging right now 12 and 7. He has the most pretty shot I've seen since maybe Carmelo. Paolo Banchero is 6'10", power forward from Duke. He's also he's 20 years old, a little bit older, probably by a few months. He's averaging 21, 7, and 4. He's shooting 27% from 3, which is not good, and 76% from free throw, which isn't great. But he is leading that talented Magic team actually to some pretty decent wins. I think they beat the Celtics twice and pretty recently, so they're one of the worst records, but they play really competitively. And Paolo is one of the most complete players you'll ever see in the NBA as a rookie, and he's been proven why he deserves the number 1 spot. But I'm moving him to huge hit because this guy right here, and this, you guys could crack on me all you want to down in the comments. This guy right here, Jabari Smith, has the opportunity to be one of the best players in the NBA. I say that because he is young, he is 6'10", huge wingspan. Did you guys see how he guards Giannis? Did you guys see how he guards the best players in the NBA already as a young player? And see how pure his shooting stroke is? I love this guy, and he's very competitive. He has the talent to become one of the best. I would say right now, Paolo is gonna way outsell Jabari. But to me, Jabari's Jabari's just like another level. Like I see him as like a young Tatum with like a better defending, if that makes sense, and a better shooting, but less playmaking. So all Jabari needs to do is show that he can do more playmaking and he'll be right there. And it sucks because that Houston Rockets team is pretty bad, so we won't really know. But Jabari, hot take, is him for me. Let me know down in the comments if you like my tier list, what I got right, what I got wrong. I want to hear from you guys. This is going to be a fun year to watch these cards go up or down, especially because the card markers kind of cooled off a little bit. I want to see who is going to like take off and be the person from this draft class, or there's going to be 3 guys from this draft class. We're going to find out soon. But let me know what you think of this video as well. This is the first time us doing a tier maker list. But until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.